Channel migrants as authorities face an almost impossible task of mounting effective patrols over many miles of the French coastline. Over days of filming, our team saw police using beach buggies to intercept groups of migrants before dispersing them with tear gas. But the criminal gangs are simply regrouping and making a dash for the sea again. The second the police move off to chase other groups of migrants further back down the beach. Well, our Home and Security editor Mark White is here with us to talk through some of the footage that the team has gathered. Mark, this is a pretty extraordinary set of situations where you're seeing police chase people only to then have them run back again. What's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, we're so used to seeing the images from this side of the channel of these boats arriving and then the people on board the boats being taken to Dover Harbour. But we wanted to get across the other side of the channel to show what is happening on that side of the channel. You can see these images here of a group of migrants making it to the sea to begin their crossing off the English Channel, and these extraordinary images brought to you by our drone as well that was up above them as they were pushing out into the English Channel with straddlers behind as well, struggling to keep up with that boat as it started to gain speed and get into the channel proper. And of course they know that once they get into open water, if they make it off the shore, then the French authorities won't try to turn them back for fear of perhaps capsizing that vessel, and they'll just escort them across into UK waters. As infuriating as that clearly is, that is what is happening day in, day out. So we're at 20,500 people who've crossed so far this year, Tom. And one of the important things for us to capture while we were there were these images. Now, this shows, from our perspective, that the police, the French police, are attempting to try to move the migrants on. They've been using these beach buggies that we've seen that race up to the migrants who appear every now and again from the dunes, looking to see if the coast is clear before they're then attempting to get off the dunes with their boats and down towards the sea. But you can see the French police buggy arriving there, and soon after the French police are firing tear gas at the migrants there to disperse them. But what's happening, Tom, is that although they are dispersing, the fact is there are many, many miles of beaches in northwestern France for the police to patrol, and they can't actually mount an effective patrol along the whole of that coastline. So when they dash off in their buggies to intercept another group of migrants, then those people smuggling gang leaders regroup and take the boat out, and, you know, they may have a few attempts at it, but eventually they get into the water like this and across the channel.
It is just remarkable and frustrating to see these sort of arbitrary limits. The police chase them until they're in the water, and then once they're in the water, it's sort of like it's all given up and gone back. I mean, it does seem vaguely unreal the way that can take place. I wonder, given how easy it was for GBNews to get this exclusive footage, a trip across to the other side of the channel can just so easily and quickly find all of these boats. Is there more that the authorities could be doing?
Well, I think there's always more that they could do, but it requires money. As I say, when you've got many, many miles of beaches to protect, the French will argue that to do that effectively, they need some help with supplementing the number of police officers there, and that requires money to be able to do that. That's why, controversially, of course, we've seen £50 million 1 year, even more the next year, given by Priti Patel to the French authorities. It's all part and parcel of what they're doing, and people will still argue, perhaps perfectly legitimately, that even although that is happening, it's not effective. And it's not. We know that because the vast majority of these boats, even if they have to try more than once, they eventually get across. More than 20,000, as I say, so far this year. And the evidence on the French side of the channel is everywhere. We filmed and saw clothes and other items lying on what are beautiful tourist beaches and up in the dunes as well. Life jackets not even hidden in the dunes, just lying out there dozens at a time, waiting for the migrants to grab them when they next run to the beach. So a full report on what we've found will be on Farage tonight at 7 o'clock, Tom.
Well, Mark,